Alexa, how do I stay motivated?
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
Son of a...
So, Dad, why do you do these videos?
Hey guys, it's Matt Gambino helping you level up your skills in sales and marketing. This is the place to learn how to acquire new customers and advance your careers in sales and marketing. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing. And also don't forget to check out show notes and links to other resources down below. I'm doing one video per week, whether you like it or not. This week I was going to do one on how to write a proposal. Actually, that's probably going to have to be a series because there's a lot to it. But I've got to cram everything into a really short time frame this week, so instead of that, I'm going to do a video on the things that I do to try to stay motivated, which, when I think about it, probably is more applicable right now anyway. So let's get to it. And by motivated, I mean motivated to work. Anyone who's motivated 24/7 is creepy, and I don't want to be around that person at all. This is not a Pomodoro timer. It's a tomato. I use a Pomodoro timer to focus on tasks for 25 minutes straight, even if those tasks are sucky, especially if those tasks are sucky. After 25 minutes of doing something, I get a 5-minute break to do whatever I want, like make a smoothie or troll people on Twitter, whatever I want to do. And a Pomodoro timer is really useful for me because it motivates me to do things that I really hate doing, like writing. I mean, I hate writing so much that I'll find anything else to do besides write, like plant tomatoes or whatever. So my advice is to use a free tool like Focus Booster and go through like 3 or 4 of those 25-minute cycles to do something that you've got to do every day, but you're not necessarily motivated to do. Prospecting is a great one. And by the way, don't forget, I've got links to Focus Booster and all the other stuff that I'm going to be talking about in the show notes below, so definitely check that out. I got to force myself to learn how to do things to save me time. This is huge for me because I procrastinate. If something's hard to do, if it's a hassle to do, I'll put off doing it or I won't do it at all. Last year I had a real problem doing videos on a regular basis because it took so much time to set everything up. I just didn't do it. I didn't get around to it. There was always something better to do. But then I just forced myself to learn different methods of setting up the camera fast, setting up the lighting really quickly, putting pieces of tape on the floor so that everything could be in the right position really fast. And now it's much easier for me to just go ahead and do it when I need to do a video. Little shortcuts are huge too. Editing these videos is a grind, I gotta be honest. But one day I just decided to learn all of the keyboard shortcuts, and it was amazing how much faster I could edit the videos just by hitting keys without having to go through menus and stuff like that. It was awesome. Even writing the outline for this video, man, I hate writing. I hate it. This past week, though, I discovered that Google Docs has a voice-to-text feature, so I tried it out, and it was like discovering plutonium by accident. I can just talk through my outline and then go back and polish up the words a little bit so they sound better. That's so much easier for me than just trying to type it out from scratch. I mean, now I can do the thing that I love doing more than anything, which is to lie on the couch and eat Lucky Charms and talk my outline out. It's amazing. I like to create agreements with my family, with my wife and my son. I mean, it's not lost on me that staying motivated to do my own work is important to me, but it's also really self-centered. I mean, I shouldn't expect Jack to get all psyched up when I have to go downstairs and do work. So we make an agreement. Both of us want to go in the backyard and play football. So we make an agreement that both of us have to get our work done. And at a specific time of day, regardless of what else happens, we're going to go out and play football. So it's like a reward for both of us. You know what I mean? Reorganizing is a big thing for me. I don't know if it's the same for you, but every once in a while, I'll take a look at my office. I'll take a step back and decide to myself, this is an absolute nightmare. I've got to move everything around, clean everything, reposition everything so I can work better. Objectively speaking, it was probably fine to begin with, but there's something cathartic about going through the process of cleaning up my office. A lot of you guys might be noticing that my background is different from just a few months ago. That's because in January or February, I decided that my background wasn't working. It probably was, but I wanted it to be warmer, and I just took a day to paint everything, reposition everything, and now I'm much happier with it, and I'm more motivated to do the type of work that I need to do. So I had 2 terrible sales calls last week. I mean, really, really bad. But the first one, the one in the field, was absolutely soul-crushing. It was driving home, car, embankment, Gambino, that sort of call. But I should have done badly on both of them, because in both cases, I was not in control. I had no control. Both of them were able to seize control of the conversations really early. Couldn't make the meetings about them, and so the meetings were all about me and my services and my trainings and whatever. So they're able to just, listen. Right. Yeah, we're not interested. I try to remember all the bad things that I do in sales calls. And believe me, there's a lot of them. For me, remembering the feeling of making a mistake is really important to not do it again. So it's a huge motivator for me. And I'd also advise you to recall the success feelings too, the feelings of accomplishment and success. And I don't mean just closing the business. Closing is really, really important, but think of the selling that you do as a series of microscopic little steps, little nano steps, And try to remember the feeling of accomplishing all of those little steps. It could be getting an introduction to a decision maker from a mutual contact. It could be the feeling of triumph when that decision maker finally gets back to you to have a meeting after 5 or 6 or 7 or 13 touches. Submitting a proposal knowing that it's not just going to get lost in the ether. There's been an agreement to go over that proposal with the decision maker. Getting a verbal yes. And yeah, closing the business, getting signed paper. If everything were about closing, I wouldn't feel very motivated because I don't close every day, not even close. So I suggest you think about those incremental steps that get you to the close and remember the positive feelings that you have by accomplishing all of those little steps. And the last thing that motivates me is fear. I'm just being honest. I mean, I wouldn't prescribe fear on any of you guys, but I've been managing fear my entire professional life. I used to be afraid of getting fired back when I was a full-time employee all the time. I'd get fired, I'd have no more money, and I would be living out of a cardboard box on the side of the road. That's exactly how I pictured myself. Not healthy, I know. But even now, I'm older, I'm not as afraid, but I still use fear as a motivator to come down here and keep selling, to keep the pipeline full, to keep prospecting, to keep reaching out to potential buyers, even if they are going completely radio silent, to go through the exercise of writing a customized proposal or doing a customized demo. All of those things can be drudgery, but I do them because I'm afraid of what would happen if I don't do them. Even if I don't live there, I want to visit every once in a while just to keep myself moving forward. All right, so I feel like fear is a bad way to end it. So I'll say that the other thing that motivates me is Chunky Monkey, New York Super Fudge Chunk, the Tonight Dough. I'm getting hungry just thinking about this. Chubby Hubby, Everything But the... Did I mention the Tonight Dough? Anyway, I look forward to feeding myself those things on Saturday, so much so that Sunday is just an absolute food hangover, and I don't want to do it again until the next Saturday. So what about you? What motivates you to keep grinding away at sales? I'm sure I missed a ton of stuff, so let me know what motivates you in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, if it helped out at all, please give it a like. That would be greatly appreciated. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode.